Hi everyone, quick video here just to just watching the market and seeing a few things going on, and yeah, just trying to sort of, I don't know, summarize, comment on a few things. Not really going to uh, market manipulation and price of things like that. And in general, I think right now the market's a bit too high. Too is not a buyer's market but a seller's market. So yeah, take that in consideration. And end of the day, if you don't care, if you want some skins to play and have fun and to hold long term, I don't think it's gonna matter, especially if you make good choices, because history has proven that it the market keeps going up no matter what. So yeah, as long as you choose something good, if you pick a good skin, rare, and things like that, you're gonna have some. So you might have some luck with that one. Anyway, so yeah, just like about good things right now, no matter market high or low, I think there's definitely few good things on. I'm gonna talk about stickers. I'm gonna talk about charms and etc. Just quickly on stickers, guys. Katowice 2019 is just an example. Um, First ever Zaiwu gold sticker, paper sticker, first ever Vitality stickers. So yeah, like definitely, I think we are heading towards the end of the I think after maybe a year or two, I don't think many people have the chance to put their hands on something like this. I think this is gonna become a classic. That's just my opinion and a treasure. But like, if you know this guy, I'm not fan or not, gotta give it to him. The guy is just an amazing player. He's already in the history books of Counter Strike. Like I've been feeling more and more as the years go past that like Counter Strike is here to stay, and esports taking over. So if you think about it, is a million people playing the game still a low number for how many people have living this planet. So and as time goes, as people get older, as people die, sometimes people with million of dollars on their inventory are gonna pass, and there's just gonna be lost in time, lost in accounts, and harder to find. And I think if you look at something like that, you might say, "Ah, fuck this guy." But like, if you look at this in 20 years time, I think you're gonna have a complete different vision. If you think and know who this guy was, and that's his first ever sticker. I don't think there was that many stick. See, 36. Like on its peak, that's definitely like a very limited item and a very desirable one, which I missed, like most of you watching this video. Like insane, 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 and like it's been holding well. Like I used to think it's a bit of bullshit, but then once you sort of more you look at these graphics, and that goes for crypto, but anyway, no matter. Like with Counter Strike, you look at these graphics, and more you look, more they actually tend to repeat themselves. And obviously, it's gonna be hard to follow everything on Steam Market, as it's pretty hard to you have a limited price, or lots of people prefer using other markets and stuff. But I checked. I think I checked on uh, sorry, on Price Empire, and I'm pretty sure there wasn't that many of it available anyway. So yeah, there you go. 46 for sale in the whole world right now. That must be people definitely sitting on some of them. That not all of them are in the market. I still believe that you might. There's 46 for sale. Another 46 might be sitting on someone's inventory. You never know. But I don't. Even though, let's say, even if there's another 300, of these stickers, guys, we're talking about something that it's going to be very limited, very hard to find. As time passes, you get very ostentatious people that like having stickers on their guns, because you think, oh, nobody's going to apply something so expensive on a skin, but now people do. So, and like, more they do, the less they are available. And yeah, we might be looking. I do most of these videos for myself to come back later and have a look how I was doing on my tracking and understanding of the market. So I don't expect too much views or anything like that. But yeah, so here you go. Anyway, this is just an example. I'm talking about an absolute treasure here. All of the other guys here definitely also something very valuable, something that's definitely you know it's definitely worth to look at. Something a little bit more affordable here of another absolute legend. Having has had like a tough run the last few years, but still like holding steady. And as this guy retired, he'll never what he did on Counter Strike is already there. Even if he stops tomorrow, actually, if he stops tomorrow, this price would be right up here. I promise you that. Anyway, so there's still chance to get some gems, guys. That's on this sticker department. I'm only looking at Katowice 2019 here, and I can see all these. We can go Krakow. We can go any other sticker collection. You're still gonna find gems. Okay, this I'm talking about Zayu because just my opinion. I think he will have one of the most one of the best gems, and one of the best opportunity if you can get your hands in one of these. I don't have any. I'm not doing that for myself. Just something I believe. You don't need to listen to me. But yeah, like honestly, if I had the money, I'm even thinking about trading some of my inventory items to then get the hold of this guy here. But it is what it is for now. I'll just finish the video. don't want to be too annoying here. Talking about patches, guys, definitely a lot of potential here. You know, Valve's been holding off on making more of them. The reason we never know, but Valve has proven to us they are way smarter than everyone think they are, or everyone. You know, I know people keep saying they are dumb and their dev teams is short and all that, but I think these guys know exactly what they're doing to the market. And you know, right now they're starving us for patches, and you know, still something that we look at and we don't really give a shit. But I think later on, you know, the game is just be improving and improving. I think once we get to a stage where we have even better graphics, as I said, guys, this game's moving forward. I think there's something here to stay. Counter-Strike is the first ever competitive shooting FPS game, and you know, it's here to stay. It's the biggest one. You know, has proven that over the years. You know, all the other ones, you know, came from Counter-Strike. No, anyway, what I'm just saying is later on we might have like better graphics. You know, I think it's gonna look way cooler when sort of people can look at their mates in the game, and like you can actually see when someone is expecting something. So like everything that happens, you know, you can sort of see each other what you're doing. If you're expecting a gun, if you're doing something else, sort of. I think we're gonna be able to see that very soon. You know, it's just, you know, Valve is very advanced, and yeah, I think that things are gonna get good like that anyway. And you know, if somehow, you know, they do something like that where you can sort of see your character more, you know, you already can see the sleeves and the legs and the shoe and all of that too. Talking about agents, you know, very shortly. I think um, it's also, you know, you have very unique things about every single agent here. They did a really good job on the design of those guys. We are talking about those guys, you know. Well, I remember when I used to look at, you know, Carter 2014, 2015, and I used to like, that's not a good example, but I used to look at IBA Power paper. They used to cost around, I believe, when I sort of really started getting into the game, was, I don't know, you could find it like, you know, on Steam Market for $400, somewhere else for maybe 250, something like that. Holos, you know, 2 grand, 2.5 grand, you could get the iBug Power, which was way more expensive than the Titan, and yeah, it was at least $500 ahead of the Titan. Was the hottest peak for the time, and like I look at it and like, fuck, whoever's gonna pay that for a fucking, you know, a video game fucking skin or something, you know, like a sticker, not even a proper skin. So, and look where we are now. And I don't think we're going back, guys. You know, as I said, you know, the more people apply these things, the less are out there, and that's how it goes. But yeah, like I think this, you know, it's very affordable. Me, you know, I've got a couple just in case. You know, it's just a bet at the end of the day. And some of them I got quite cheap. You know, they've been up in price like 10, 15 times. So I'm not losing much anyway. I'm pretty happy so far. But yeah, I'm actually surprised how long it's taking for these guys to actually blow proper, for how long Valve has been starving us. But anyway, just an opinion. Those guys are the pioneers, guys, of patches, same as Kato 2014 are the pioneers for stickers. And that's how this goes. You know, there's definitely other patches to look at too. This is just an example, okay? So yeah, definitely, like, if you look at those guys here, you know, pretty good performance, I'd say too. But yeah, if you can get hold of them, definitely do it. Just talking about the other patches because I'm a bit more used to them. You know, I definitely have some other in my pocket just in case. Quite affordable. I only have one of these. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about charms. Charms, guys, I don't have much to say. We all know them. But yeah, like, one thing is, you know, they've been out for a while now, and I would not be surprised if Valve just replace them. You know, like, you know, people been talking a lot about like the things that just being added to the game. You know, collections that don't even have a red item on them, and you know, about you know, they just disappearing out of nowhere. But I don't think that's how Valve works. But talking about those guys, they've been out for a while, and you know, I could be wrong. They might stay another year or two out, but I don't think it's gonna be much longer than that. And I think right now we probably how's a bad example, but I think like if you look at something like this, in my opinion, the coolest item in the whole thing. We now, I think we are towards like bottom market. If it goes down, guys, to 40, who cares? Just hold it, and hopefully, you know, you're gonna get your money back plus a few extra dollars. Anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say about charms. You know, I do believe that they're gonna be replaced at some point for something new, and you know that even when they do, you know, their price might go up or down. But if it goes down, or it might go up for a bit and then go down again. And if it gets any lower than these, I'll definitely, instead of buying the new ones, I'll get more of these guys, because you know, from there'll be no other way to get them other than buying from someone who already has it. So anyway, it's a bit different of stickers because you can detach them and attach them again and stuff. But it's still, you know, when it comes to like then in this collection, actually, I would not like maybe recommend going for like the low tier items. I would definitely stick to the high ones just because it's sort of you know, these things can go around forever. So yeah, agents. Yeah, like, I think this is a bit of market manipulation, guys, and like, obviously, like, really cool. You know, a lot of people do cosplay of Mrs. Sully. But anyway, I do believe there's a bit of market manipulation. You barely see anyone playing with them. I'm on and off like playing a lot of Counter Strike. I barely see her around, so I do believe she's mostly sitting on people's inventory out there. Still, I'm not saying it's good or bad. No matter what, talking general, guys, I think same again. I think with those guys, when people realize they are the first batch of a whole new thing of Counter Strike, that when they got introduced, we're going to another area. The era that the game is proving to be uh, uh, um, uh, progressing, and yeah, maybe one day you're gonna see them on professional matches and stuff like that. If Valve can fix the hitboxes, and yeah, all those things. So anyway, yeah, like just a silly example, but yeah, like not too bad. And I still like when they first came out, I still ignored them. I probably got my first Miami Diary around here. I remember paying like $62 or something like that. Um, yeah, because like when it first came out, I was definitely like being a bit like fuck, can't even see it. Right, it's a bit silly. Didn't see the Valve's plan for it, and Valve has proven to have plans for it. And also being from like, collections guys and from operation, even though there's a hell of a lot out there, and still like it's very popular, but not quite like every single player in the game uses them. Yeah, there's still definitely a lot out there, and same as the charm, sort of, it's not something like uh, a sticker where you use it and it disappears, but it's always a skin. So if you think about it, I'll definitely, even now, the way the price is now, you might see something like this and then this again. I'll wait till it happens, and I'll come back to this video and watch and see if I was right or wrong. I don't think it's gonna go any lower. I don't think Miami Dairy is gonna get any lower than 150, and definitely like has potential to go way beyond the 300. So like I think, yeah, just an opinion on agents, guys. Just in general, this guy as well, in my opinion. Um, later on, like when you actually look to like the high tier agents guys in game, uh, it's just like insane how much detail, how much everything, how good it looks and stuff like that. And later on, like I think, the shoes, this all these details are gonna be very, even if you're playing, you can see your character. If when your teammates die, they're on your screen, they can see everything. They can see this watch, this tattoos, this pants, these shoes. So it's, how it is. Yeah, just an opinion too. These guys are not I have very high expectations for these guys for when people realize and the rush happens to like get one. That happens all the time. But I'm talking about a big one. It's like Kato 14 rush. But anyway, I think end of the day, no matter what they release, this guy is gonna be one of the coolest and community favorites. Anyway, that's just a brief thing about agents. This guy's nothing to say about it. I used to hate him, and I used to hate how high the price was to get one of him. So I never did. Once you like miss this, you sort of get a bit pissed, and you decide not to get any more. And I probably got mine. I don't know. I still think I paid like around like 100 something for it. It is what it is. It is what it is. All good. Anyway, lovely guy. Same again, guys. So, when you look at all the details and quality and the sleeves, how much people like him, and the cosplays and stuff like that. I think this guy's not gonna be far behind of being an absolute gem in the game. From operation again, limited. It is what it is. Probably even more limited than some of them. But yeah, no, lovely. So good, guys. Market's looking good. Just a quick thing about collections. I do believe some collections are not gonna be here much longer. I'm gonna list them. I'll leave this for last because this one has just gone out. Actually, the whole VT going out. It's not just a collection thing. But yeah, about these guys, I don't think it's gonna be, it's gonna take too long until those guys go out, and just like honestly, I think this is the kind of item you see, guys. Like it's definitely something that the community liked for a long time. Still does. It's just the availability. Obviously, new collections came out and stuff like that. Price goes down a bit, but it is what it is. It's not a hell of a lot of them sitting out there. It's an amazing, well, an amazing skin. It's gonna be very iconic, for the people that prefer using 4A4 out in the game. I know a lot of people now is using M4 A1S, but you just go in waves, guys. You never know what the next update of the game is gonna be like. I still believe like later on Valve's gonna introduce more guns and gadgets in the game as we go. But I think M4 A4 is always gonna be here. Obviously, now they have all this skin, they can't just remove it out of the game. But yeah. So I think this is an absolute gem to keep an eye out for. And yeah, the whole collection, guys. Even if you're like, oh yeah, then like just get those guys. Yeah, a couple of them. Well, just keep some in your inventory. I think I'm talking about the whole collection, not about one item. But you know, when you have such an item in a collection, like so, same as in this case, you know, this is nice too. But you know, when you have something as iconic as this, and you know, you definitely want to keep those guys in just to do trades later on, or to sell to people that are gonna do the trades. But yeah, anyway, like I do believe Anubis, uh, 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 Ancient, and Mirage are not gonna be here for much longer. You know, just for how long ago they've been introduced, and that's how Valve works or has been working so far. So yeah, they might introduce us and give us something a bit newer. It all depends. They've been very focused on the armory pass, but you know, like I don't think they are completely gonna change the way they work. So yeah, yeah, this is a collection I would be interesting looking at or keeping an eye out. You know, again, guys, I'll come back to this video in a few years and have a look, see if I was right or not. This collection as well, like, has some absolute gems. Even this guy here, you know, very nice skin. Well, yeah, like, definitely those two. God, what can you say about it? It's just, you know, two amazing skins, the same collection, and yeah, like, honestly, if I'm right, you know, if they remove this collection tomorrow, you're gonna see the price of these guys blowing up proper. You know, so yeah, you know, and those guys follow because they can be used in the trades. Obviously, you can't get the souvenir; you need to get the normal skins to do that. So yeah, yeah, I'll also keep an eye out for that one. And this one of the best skins in the game, guys. It's just yeah, insane, insane, insane. In my opinion, it's way more beautiful than Dragon Law. You know, obviously you need Dragon Law is more iconic. I'm just talking about the way the skin looks. So yeah, in my opinion, yeah, one of the most amazing orbs in the game, and yeah, not too bad at all. So definitely, you know, Mirage goes out, which people think it's gonna go because Cash is gonna come in. It might come back later, guys, but it's gonna come back with a different collection. Well, people think Cash is gonna be introduced, and this, you know, Mirage has been around for a long time. I think it's getting a little bit less popular among the pro players. So I don't know. This can go out very shortly too. I would keep an eye out. Or you know, or if you want to do a good move, you always need to sort of try to predict what the market's gonna do, and then try to move before everyone else does. So anyway, that's pretty much how it works. Yeah, this is another amazing skin in the collection too. Yeah, yeah, it is all good. And this guy just going out, you know, amazing skin, very rare, very very rare. I think fact on you, I think there are like 24 of them in the whole world or something like that. I don't want to make this video too long, but yeah, like you know, it's an amazing skin. I still don't believe like, oh, it's gonna, you know, change the world. But yeah, it's an amazing skin, and you know, like I think the only reason the price not gonna go nuts is because, you know, like it's a great skin, but it's definitely not gonna be like everyone's favorite. But it's gonna be one of the most rare M4A41S in the game. So for the people that like that kind of feeling of holding something so exclusive, yeah, definitely. But yeah, I don't think the price is going back anymore. I think it's only upwards from here. I would, if I was getting one or any other of them, I would watch the market, see what it's doing, try to buy in the deep and sell in the high. And yeah, it is what it is. Oh, good guys, I'll stop here. I don't want to extend myself too much more. Stay safe and till the next one.